to Global Recognition of the Vibe. And today's question and answer Mondays. I'll have two questions on relationship and family. The first one is on how to identify a toxic relationship, and the second is how to deal with family members that have different values and beliefs from you. So yeah, we begin this or begin today's in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. And the church say, Amen. All right. Excuse me. I'm just returning from work, so that's why I'm dressed like this. I went to work, so don't mind the. All right, straight up. So yeah, how to identify a toxic relationship. Most of us are in toxic relationships and you don't know. Some of us are in relationships that are not healthy and you don't know. You may feel it's tease, you may feel it's a part of life, you may feel that's how relationships are meant to be, but nah. Some traits are toxic and are quite toxic, and you may not know because you feel okay it's a relationship, or you feel it's be hard for you to get into another relationship, so you just want to manage or you just want to take it slow. Oh shit. So like I was saying, some of us are in toxic relationships and you don't know because you may feel if you go all out it will be hard for you to get into another relationship, or you may feel it may be difficult to recover from the breakup or something, or the heartbreak. Now, relationships are not healthy, and you will know. So this question is, how do I identify a toxic relationship, or what are the signs of a toxic relationship? Today's question and answer Monday here. So a toxic relationship is a relationship that is harmful, abusive, or damaging to one or both parties involved. It can be characterized by a few behaviors. There are sometimes that you be in toxic relationships, and believe me, you wouldn't know. Yeah, but these are some of the signs that when you see them, you realize that okay, yes, so this my relationship is not healthy, or this my relationship I need to do something about it ASAP. Number one, constant criticism. Now, you can't say you love someone, or you can't be in a relationship with someone and 80% of the time it gets criticized, or 80% of the time the person keeps calling out either your flaws, or he or she keeps calling out some things that are not really cool about you. That's constant criticism. Now what does this mean? Is like being belittled or mocked, basically being constantly criticized. So if you're in a relationship and you realize that either your partner in the relationship consequently or frequently calls out your flaws, or consequently or frequently calls your lapses or reminds you of things that you yourself you're either trying to go through or grow out from or overcome. You get, because there are some challenges or there are some traits that we may have, and personally, that's when self growth comes in. Personally, maybe trying to get through them, or maybe trying to overcome those traits, and you're in a relationship and your partner constantly reminds you of those flaws, or reminds you of those lapses, or belittles you, or mocks you. Sometimes it may come in joke, or the person will be like, I'm just joking, I'm just joking. Do you like taking things serious? Nobody takes mockery for just a complete joke, 100%. There's no how you mock someone and the person wouldn't feel a type of way. You get. So if you're in a relationship and you realize that 70, 80%, 90% of the time your partner keeps criticizing you, like constant criticism, keeps belittling you in a kind of way, or keeps mocking you, believe me, that's a sign of a toxic relationship. It may start as something minute, or it may start as something very little, and you may want to like overlook it. But if it becomes constant, if it becomes frequent, you are being belittled, you are being mocked, your flaws, he just keeps reminding you about your flaws. And this could be either past traumas or past experiences or past stuff that you yourself you are trying to grow out from. Yeah, or forget about it, and the person keeps constantly reminding you about them. Believing me, that's a sign of a toxic relationship. So number one is constant criticism. Number two is emotional manipulation. Bruh, there are a lot of persons like this that are manipulators. Like, bro, they behave like calculators in the sense of trajectors. Not mind me, I'm just joking, I'm giving you rhymes. But then emotional manipulation is another sign that you'd use to know if you're in a toxic relationship or not. Now, how does emotional manipulation work? When you are being made to feel guilty or ashamed, or you're afraid to express your feelings. There's a way that you annoy someone, yeah? Or someone will piss you off, or someone will step on your toes, or someone will anger you or get you angry. And you now you cannot get pissed, or rather you cannot react, because if you react, it will be like a reverse psychology. The person now make it seem as if, so is it because of this thing I said that you're reacting, or is it because of this thing I did that you're reacting? Now you know it's better to make it seem like you are the wrong one, or you are the one that has messed up, or you are the one in a bad mess in the situation right now, or you're the one like twisting things. Emotional manipulation, reversing your psychological reasoning of things. You mean it's right for you to react, in a relationship that sometimes they will feel when our partners offend us, we're not meant to react. You can react, but if you react in a way that it wouldn't ruin the relationship, yes. All relationships can be, or every relationship can be just 100% smooth, or 100% fun, or 100% laughter and chills. There are times that both of you either agree to disagree, yes, or there are times that both of you being different, balance of situations or stuff. That's when you have to have a memorandum of understanding, MOU. You get company use that in relationships too. You can also use MOU, memorandum of understanding. But in a situation where the person that is wrong, or your partner tends to manipulate your emotions, or turn things around to make you feel guilty or ashamed, and then you see yourself are afraid to express your feelings, bruh, that's an emotional manipulation, and that's a sign of a toxic relationship. So if you see things around your relationship like this, they may start little by a bit, but if you realize that no, this is a constant something, this is something this person do over and over and over, emotional manipulation, that's another sign to realize or to know a toxic relationship. Number three, I don't know. Some people may find this a bit sexy, in quotes, or they may find this a bit of a turn on to them. Humans vary, or rather, some of the things we have learned that we're not meant to learn, or some things we have learned that we've taken too extra, we feel they are healthy or they are part of relationship. That's, you see, control and possessiveness. Now, when you are being controlled, that's one. Now, the control leads to you being isolated or restricted from seeing your friends and your families, or from doing things that gives you joy, or doing stuff that pleases you, or doing stuff that make you happy. Bruh, run away, oh. Like, for reals, for reals. So if you realize that in your relationship there's a huge volume, or how would I put it? There's a huge, volume of control. Like the way the person controls you, and the way the person comes all possessive and stuff. It's appalling and it's alarming. It's a sign of a toxic relationship. You get, there's no way you want to be possessive over someone. That is not a property. There's no way you want to be possessive over someone that you claim you love. Abba. So when you realize in your relationship your partner tends to become too controlling, or rather not even too controlling, your partner tends to exhibit traits that appears he's trying to control you or possess you. That's possessiveness. And this can be when he's trying to get you isolated or restricted from things that your friends or your family, or those things you love to do, and that gives you joy and or makes you happy, and you realize he's trying to prevent you from doing them or restrict you from doing them. That's control and possessiveness. That's a sign of a toxic relationship. It's one thing to be security conscious. It's another thing to be a jealous lover, because it's natural and it's healthy for your partner to be jealous. Now, it's healthy. I said jealous. I didn't say obsessed. I said jealous. It's natural and it's healthy for your partner to be jealous, because it rekindles and keeps your relationship alive. It rekindles and reminds your partner why he or she loves you, or why he or she fell for you in the first place. But when this becomes too possessive, now the person is possessive about you or possessive over you, restricting your freedom and isolating you from your friends, isolating you from seeing your family members, isolating you from getting in touch with your friends and things you love to do. That's a sign of a toxic relationship. So control and possessiveness is another thing that you can use to know if you are in a toxic relationship. Another one is lack of boundaries. In relationships, there have to be boundaries. For you to have a healthy relationship, believe you me, no matter how you claim to love your spouse, no matter how you claim to love your partner, and vice versa, there has to be boundaries for any relationship to be successful. There has to be boundaries for every relationship to work fine. So if you realize that in a relationship and there are lack of boundaries, that is disrespect for your physical and emotional boundaries. There are a lot of times that your emotional status or your emotional state may not be high enough or may not be strong enough to tolerate some kind of things. We are humans. So how there are highs and lows in life, there are also highs and lows in emotions. Now, once there are times that your emotional state is too low to tolerate some kind of thing, and your partner knows that yes, this your emotional state is too low, and the person still goes at the extent of violating in quotes, because now emotionally you are low, so emotionally you don't have the energy to put up with some things that he's doing, or she's doing. Sometimes you may feel, the person may feel it's part of extreme love in quotes. There's a kind of love that comes like the person is trying to force it on you over when you don't have the time for it, you don't have the energy for it, and your partner may feel you just have to accept it because, come on, I love you and you claim you love me and you're in a relationship. But no, there are highs and lows, and there are sometimes there are even some things that you may enjoy doing or you enjoy doing with your partner. At that point, you may have a low energy. Now it's left to your partner to recognize that okay, yes, my baby is low, or my husband is low, or my wife is low, or my sweetheart is low, and now the person is meant to help you in that emotional state, not like take advantage of your emotional state or go at the expense or the extent of ruining your energy the more. So when your partner is not able to give you um not able to have respect for your emotional boundaries or your emotional state, and physically also physically that sometimes the emotional you may be all right, but physically you don't have energy for some things, and you're in a relationship that your partner just feel 100% of the time you have to come through, or you have to give he or she whatever they want. Nah, that's lack of boundaries, and that's a sign of a toxic relationship. Mercy, hi. It's Nessa, hi. Shout out to you, Nessa. You're welcome. I appreciate you. So another sign of a toxic relationship is gaslighting. Bro, you see this gaslighting? Jesus, 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 Jesus. Have you been gaslighted to the extent that you may feel you are running mad? There are some persons that they are gaslighters. Like their superpower is gaslighting. No fugazi. Like, yeah, you're welcome, Nessa. And thank you also for being here. There's some persons that their superpowers is gaslighting. Like they have their names, aka gaslighters. If they gaslight you, Jesus, believe me, you question your sanity. Run away from those people. Sometimes it may not be relationships, sometimes it may be friends, sometimes acquaintances, sometimes colleagues. They will ruin your mentality or your mental capacity. Legendary OD. Come on. Shout out to you, my brother. Much love. You're welcome. Bless up. So they will ruin your mental capacity. So if you have people like this around you, or you're in a relationship that your partner consistently or continually does things that makes you question your sanity, blood of Jesus, to armor, like, don't even give the person, flee. You know what I mean? Flee. If you can fly, fly, because you can't be in a you're blessed up, legendary OD. One love, my brother. You can't be in a relationship that the person keeps making you question your sanity, like, or question your memory. There are sometimes that you remember vividly that someone, your partner did this, and you're questioning the person that, can you remember when you did this? And your partner goes like, oh, I cannot remember. I think, are you alright? Are you? No, I don't think, I cannot remember. You know that such things happen. It could be in an argument, or it could be somewhere you guys went to, or it could be something you saw and you're trying to question your partner about it. That's why communication is good in relationship. Open and honest communication. It makes relationship healthy, and it boosts intimacy. It boosts the partnership level of relationship, because relationship is beyond just the emotional mushy mushy stuff. It should be like a partnership, because it's two people coming together to make something work. But if you're in a relationship where your partner makes you question your sanity or question your memory, you remember something vividly happened, and you're trying to ask your partner, and the person goes all like how like in a confusing manner or confusing reaction, or the person may feel or she may feel they are being sarcastic and trying to make you question your sanity or question your memory, or that such things didn't happen meanwhile they happened. That's not a healthy relationship. So if you're in a healthy relationship and you realize that your partner is a gaslighter, see, run away, because it can get you crazy, like stupidly crazy. So that's another sign of a toxic relationship. Another is selfishness and entitlement. Bruh, in life, not just in relationship, you're meant to be selfless, because the only way you'll be able to work with people and have a beautiful relationship is when you're selfless. That's why Bible said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. When you love your neighbor like you love yourself, whatever you wouldn't like done to you, definitely you wouldn't do that to someone else. Or whatever wouldn't be appealing to you, or whatever you wouldn't appreciate, you wouldn't do that to someone else. And the way you love genuinely and honestly. So if you're in a relationship and you realize that your partner is selfish or your partner is biasly entitled, that's not a healthy relationship. That means they prioritize their needs and their desires over yours. In a relationship, in a relationship, for you to realize a healthy relationship is when your partner prioritizes your feelings, prioritizes your needs, and prioritizes your desires over theirs. But don't get me wrong, there's self care, and there's self mindfulness, and there's self medication, and there's self reflection. That's alright. But if you're in a relationship here and your partner tends all the time, on and on, they tend to rate their priorities over yours, or rate their needs over yours, or their desires. Every time they come first, they come first. That's not a selfless love. That's being overly entitled, biasly entitled and selfish. That's a sign of a toxic relationship, because it's not healthy. Relationship is meant to be, things are meant to be shared, and love is meant to be balanced. You get me? So if you're in a relationship and realize that this is my guy, this is my babe, this is my girl, you are selfish, you. Or you realize that they are being biasly entitled, or so muchly entitled, or too entitled, that's a sign of a toxic relationship. Another sign of a toxic relationship is lack of accountability. In life, not just in relationship, you're meant to be accountable. You're meant to be accountable to your fuck ups. You're meant to be accountable to your mess ups. You're meant to be accountable to your decisions. You're meant to be accountable to whatever you do and how you do them. You're meant to be accountable. That speaks more of your integrity, or shows how hmm, your integrity. You understand? Before I speak nonsense. Now, when your partner blames others or makes excuses for their behavior all the time, when you realize your partner has messed up, or you realize your partner has gone astray, or has done something to offend you, or has done something that you don't like, and instead of them to own up, or instead of them to accept the fact that, okay, yes, this thing I did, I am wrong, and this thing I did, I actually did it, and I am sorry. It wasn't intentional. And even if you did it intentionally, accept the fact that you messed up and tender apology honestly. But when you're in a relationship and probably your partner does something unruly, or does something that annoys you, or does something that gets you really pissed, and the person comes with the card that more, it's also a person, I was just on my own. The person blames others for their mess ups, or blames others for their actions, or makes excuses constantly for their behavior. That's a sign of a toxic relationship, because in a relationship you have to be responsible, and in a relationship you have to be accountable, because you have to be accountable for the things you do, and you have to be responsible for your behaviors. You have to be responsible for your partner, and likewise vice versa. So lack of accountability is another sign of a toxic relationship. So look out for the signs. They may be little, it may start once, twice, it may start just from a very minute argument, and the person will just cook up one stupid cock and bull story or lies, instead of owning up to his shit, or owning up to his or her mess up, or accepting the fact that, yes, I offended you, yes, I did this, so for real I didn't mean to, but I don't know how I ended up doing it, and I take full responsibility. I am sorry, bro. That's how it takes. Sometimes I'm sorry is all it takes, to have some things settled. But when you take it too extra, just start blaming other people for your actions. That's lack of accountability, and that's a sign of an unhealthy relationship. Another sign of a toxic relationship is feelings of fear, anxiety, or walking on eggshells. Now, you can't be in a relationship and constantly you have fear harbored in your heart. You can't be in a relationship and constantly you're anxious. You can't be in a relationship and constantly you feel you're walking on eggshells. You know what it means to be walking on eggshells. You're not comfortable. You don't want to hurt your feet. You don't want to ruin your feet. So if you're in a relationship and it constantly feels like you're walking on eggshells, you constantly feel whatever you do you will hurt yourself, or whatever you do you have to tread carefully. That's a sign of a toxic relationship. When you are constantly feeling anxious or fearful around your partner. Now, this fearful may be violent state that you cannot express yourself around your partner because you feel the way you may express yourself may be out of context to the person. Meanwhile, you're just communicating, and the person may hurt you or throw something at you. That's a sign of a toxic relationship. Now, another fear is when you're not with your partner and you feel your partner won't do right by you. That's why trust and loyalty is very essential in a relationship. And the only way you can know if your partner has trust in you, or the only way you can know if your partner is loyal, is when situations or circumstances are laid before them. And in these situations and circumstances, they are able to overcome, they are able to go free without ruining. See, one of the things that makes people cheat in relationships because they don't recognize the feelings of their partners. That's cheating either emotionally or sexually or extra. That's in-depth cheating. One thing that makes people cheat is that they don't recognize the feelings of their partner, because if you recognize the feelings of your partner over yours, at that point of cheating, the only thing that you have in your head is, I don't want to hurt my partner. Now, like I said, selfishness, yourself has died. Is your partner before you? You get me? Is your partner's feelings before yours? So if you're placed with a scenario or a situation where you know that you will definitely cheat, and the only thing in your head is, bruh, I don't want to hurt my partner's feelings. Bruh, I don't want to hurt my partner. Now, I know we got into this, but to be sincere with you, I don't want to hurt my partner because that will ruin me. Because if you realize that hurting your partner will ruin you as well, because it's a two-way thing. It's a relationship. One person can't make a relationship work. It involves two parties, and two parties coming together to form a bond, to form a partnership, to form one. So if you're tested or placed with a scenario to cheat, and you realize that this just hurt my partner, bruh, and you're able to get out of that situation successfully, that's when you can say you are loyal. Loyalty is not by mouth, though. Loyalty is not, I did for you. Loyalty is not, I'm loyal, I'm loyal, I'm loyal. This girl so loyal. That's not loyalty. Your loyalty is tested when situations or scenarios are placed before you that you know that if you do this, you hurt your partner, and you recognize that, and you are able to pull out yourself out of that situation without hurting your partner. That's when you can say you are loyal. Now, I was saying another sign of the toxic relationship is a feeling of fear, anxiety, or walking on eggshells. Now, if constantly you feel whenever your partner is outside, or whenever you're not with your partner, and you feel your partner can't do right by you, your partner can't do stuff that can't stand in the gap of you, or can't represent you outside, or say, I can't cheat on my girl, or can't say, now I'm in a relationship, or can't say, now I'm taking, or I'm married, or stuff like that. If you realize your partner can't do right by you and you have that fear in your mind or your heart constantly, bruh, that's a toxic relationship because it's unhealthy and it's ruining your health. Now, people feel toxic relationships only when your partner will carry belts and whip you, or slaps you, or nods you, or punches you, or just operates or behaves very cruel at you. Now, toxic relationship is when, even as hard as you try, you don't have peace of mind. Like, your sanity is compromised. Like, your health is your mental state is compromised. Like, your emotional state is compromised. Your emotional health is compromised. You just have a constant fear of, you are constantly anxious. You're constantly fearful. You constantly feels like you're walking on eggshells whenever you're with your partner or in the relationship. That's not healthy. Now, that's toxic because it's affecting your health. Healthy relationship is a balance of something. You are happy, you are at ease, you are at peace. There's no stress. Toxic is the opposite of that. The thing that you feel is when there's really violence, when they have beat you, or when nah, when it's compromising your health, when you can't think right, when your mental state is at stake, when your emotional state is at stake, when psychologically, bro, you can't function well. And if you can't function well psychologically, how do you go about your, day-to-day activities? So when you realize all these things, if you know now this is a toxic relationship because I can't be myself. You feel me? You can't be yourself. You can't be the best version of yourself in this relationship. When you realize that, that's a toxic relationship because it's not healthy. That's a toxic relationship because the relationship can't do right by you. And you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that. That's the mistake some people make or some persons make. They feel to realize or they feel for them to understand that they're in a toxic relationship, someone has to come and use mic and tell them, "Oh boy, you're in a toxic relationship," or side. Nah, if you're in a toxic relationship, believe me, you will know. Unless you want to just turn a blind eye or turn a blind side. If you are in a toxic relationship, you would know. And the easiest and fastest way to know if you're in a toxic relationship is whenever you're in a relationship and it compromises your peace or it affects your peace. Whatever that affects your peace, bro, wrong. Now, affecting your peace is one. That may be that's not a right relationship. Now, let me take it step by step. When it compromises your peace or when it affects your peace, it's probably not yet toxic, but it's not right for you. That's one. Now, leaving the right part, that's the peace part. When there's a constant feeling of fear and anxiety in that relationship, that's stage two. Now, your peace is compromised. Two, you're scared because am I doing the right thing? Is he doing right by me? Is she doing right by me? Three, you're anxious. You're constantly anxious. You don't know what will happen next. You don't know what you're doing. You're just like a whirlwind. That's how you know you're in a toxic relationship. So it's not when the person carries belt and praise you're welcome. Some siblings are toxic too. Now, toxicity is not limited to relationship, and toxicity is not limited to like a two-person thing or a party something. Toxicity is based on a personality. Now, I thank you for bringing this up. Some siblings are toxic because their individuality is toxic or their personality is toxic. So just like a sibling who is toxic, or rather a person who is toxic goes into a relationship, that relationship becomes toxic because the person is toxic. It's not like the relationship is toxic. A relationship is toxic when an individual is toxic. When an individual portrays behaviors or portrays traits that are unreasonable or unruly. And when they do this, the other party wouldn't feel sane, or the other party wouldn't feel safe, or the other party wouldn't feel secure. And that will make the relationship toxic. Now, some siblings can be toxic depending on how they grew up. Sometimes we have different experiences growing up and you have different traumas. Some persons have some kind of deep traumas growing up, and these deep traumas they don't address them well. That's why it's good to come from a family where there's communication and the communication is equally open and honest, and the parents create a safe space for the siblings to air their views and air whatever they're feeling to give you guys bond and intimacy, and it will help both you guys, it will help you guys being accountable also. But when all these are not present and either the child was brutally beaten growing up or the child was behaved too badly by the parents growing up, that child may grow up to become toxic because of the traumas or the experiences. Because when they see people having what they didn't have, automatically they may just feel a kind of hate towards them because they weren't opportuned to enjoy that. There are some relationships that you see like, is this how life is? You be questioning yourself because there's just love around, and you as a person, as an individual, you didn't grow with love around you, or your parents or your siblings weren't taught or trained or groomed in love. So you just have like hate towards these people that haven't done you anything. Now I see sometimes some of your siblings may come out not toxic per se, but they will have some of these traits. It's because probably they were not showered adequate love, or there was no safe space for an open and honest communication in the family. So yeah, toxicity is not based on relationship. Toxicity is based on individuality or personality. It's based on how someone disciplines him or herself, or how someone conditions his or her mind. So yeah, thank you for this praise, Daniels. And this one, I hope none of your siblings did you strong thing, because sometimes siblings we do ourselves strong things. That doesn't make us toxic. Your siblings will definitely do you strong things, but when your siblings love you, they will root for you no matter the strong things. Growing up, me and my elder brother we used to fight. That time I used to watch Chinese, all these Tai Chi movies, just to learn moves. So that if my brother just angries me, I'll fly and finish him. He will beat me. Oh. He will still beat me. He will finish the hell out of me. But then I'll throw one punch. I'll at least cause one damage or one wound. But that's just siblings. You guys definitely fight. That doesn't make you guys toxic. You guys have to disagree to agree. That's what makes family beautiful. She said that my brothers no nice. Hey, yeah, sorry about that. And your brothers are nice. Probably there are just some scenarios or some situations where they may want to just be on their own, or just catch their cruise, or just vibe, and you want to disturb them. Sisters can be so extra that sometimes that your brothers just want to chill, or your bros just want to chill, and you want to invade their space. And at that moment, they don't need that. But that just are overly emotional, and that's not a bad thing. That's just your natural, phenomenon. That's just the way you guys are created, and that's beautiful. But then there are things, like I said, boundaries. Sometimes you may be the one acting, over yourself, or over the hedge. You get You be the one being so mushy when sometimes they just need their space. So sometimes it's a two-way thing. Sometimes the problem is not from the other party. You check yourself. You realize, or you think, okay, is this the right time to disturb my brother? If it's not the right time, allow him. Because if you can't disturb him that and now he slaps you, and he slaps you, you feel he's toxic. No, he's not toxic, but he's trying to self-reflect. He's trying to have self-mindfulness, just have time to himself. And probably that's the time you want to worry him. Definitely, you react in a way that you didn't expect, but that doesn't make him toxic. But like I said, toxicity is not just based on relationship; it's based on individuality or a person's personality. So yeah, these are some of the signs to know if you're in a toxic relationship. So you're saying some things: constant criticism, emotional manipulation, control and possessiveness, lack of boundaries, emotional or physical abuse, gaslighting, selfishness and entitlement, disrespect and contempt. Yeah. Okay, I didn't cite this. Disrespect and contempt is another way. Contempt is another way to realize if you're in a toxic relationship. That's when you are being treated with disdain. Okay, I mentioned sarcasm, but just generally, when you are being treated with disdain, sarcasm, or contempt regularly or continually, that sometimes that sarcasm can spice up relationship. You get me? Hope I'm not too fast. That sometimes that sarcasm can spice up relationship, but when constantly you are being treated with sarcasm, disdain, concept, that's another contempt. That's another sign to know in a toxic relationship. So if you find yourself in a toxic relationship, it's important to prioritize your own well-being and seek support from trusted individuals such as friends, your family, or your therapist. And remember, you deserve to be treated with respect, kindness, and compassion. If you're not seeing these three things in your relationship: respect, kindness, and compassion. Why these three things are highlighted? Because one, respect deals with mutuality, that's both sides. Kindness is selfless because the person is recognizing your desires or your needs over theirs. While compassion is a form of empathy, that is the person putting him or herself in your shoes, or him or herself in his or her partner's shoes. That way, you guys will understand yourself better. So if you're not seeing respect in your relationship, yeah, if you're not being treated kindly by your partner, and your partner doesn't show compassion, that's a sign. That's a warning sign to show you that you're in a toxic relationship. Remember, you deserve a healthy and loving relationship, and if you identify with several of these signs, consider seeking support and prioritizing your well-being. don't worry, it's a relationship. If it's not right by you, go. Nothing will happen to you, and you see a better relationship because you are made to have a beautiful relationship. Everyone is meant to enjoy love and beautiful relationship. So don't just limit yourself, or don't just feel less of yourself, or rate yourself less than or more. I'll settle with this because I don't know if I will see another one. Nah, bro, nah, sis. Everyone is meant to enjoy love beautifully. And if you realize that yours is being compromised or yours is being selfish in your relationship, and there's no compassion and kindness, that's a form of toxic relationship. Do right by yourself and do what's right by you so that your mental health and your mental sanity can be alright. So I guess I've answered this first question, that is how to identify a toxic relationship or the signs to know you are in a toxic relationship. The second one is family. Let me quickly just highlight this one so we'll wrap up. Now the question is how to deal with family members who have different values and beliefs. We are humans, that's one thing you should know. We have different personalities, that's another thing you should know. What I like may be different from what you like, that's another thing you should know. My hobbies will be different from your hobbies, that's another thing you should know. I'm a human, so definitely I have likes and dislikes. You're a human, so definitely you have likes and dislikes. That's another thing you should know. There are some things that I would like, prefer to be entertained with than the things you prefer to be entertained with. That doesn't mean we are not compatible, we can't relate. But just recognizing the fact that okay, yes, this person has his values, this person has his traits, this person has things he likes to do or loves to do, this person has his or her hobbies. Just recognizing that fact, recognizing the differences, you know, there are differences, there are similarities, but recognizing that okay, these are your differences and adjusting your mentality to work with this person's differences. You guys will have a beautiful family or a beautiful life. So yeah, how to deal with family members who have different values and beliefs. It can be challenging. That's because sometimes you may need your siblings to vibe with you, at a particular level because they're your siblings and you just feel probably or naturally you guys are just meant to vibe. Now, if you notice in your family, let me say if you guys are four, you vibe better with one than the rest. And in some area, you vibe better with one than the rest. Probably in sports, you're the one that you senior. You guys may like the same thing in sport, but the one that seniors you may not even like sport at all. And now you're trying to watch sport with that one that doesn't like sport. You guys definitely argue. You get, but recognizing that okay, this person doesn't like sport, but I like sports. And finding an ultimatum to settle that both of you say, okay, even if you don't like sport, I like sport. Let me do right by myself like this, and let you do right by yourself like that. No shaking now, no shaking, no fugazi, no argument. But if you want to force it, oh, more we go watch ball, nothing you want to do, we must watch this soccer. How now? Before you do it, will land you slap because you're the younger one. Now, so you guys, dealing with family values and beliefs can be challenging, but sometimes it just requires you being calm. So there are some tips to navigate these situations, and there are some things you can take, you know, to deal with family members who have different values and beliefs. Number one, I've mentioned it, I will just number one is respect their perspective, try to understand where they are coming from, even if you don't agree. That's why I just said sometimes just, realize that yes, so I understand where you are coming from, even if you don't even understand Shingbai, even if you don't even understand the thing, but recognize the fact that you guys have different perspectives. If I should ask you to define love, definitely your perspective of love is different from mine. If I should ask you to define life, your perspective of life is different from mine. If I should ask you to define probably why you love women or why you love men, your perspective will be different from mine because I will define it in the way I understand it. I will define it in the way I want to enjoy it or the way I want to see it. So, recognizing that you guys have different perspectives and respecting each other's perspectives, it will solve a lot. Try to understand where the person is coming from. You don't have to agree, but understand that yes, you have your own views, I have my own views. That's calm. Number two, agree to disagree. You don't have to see eye to eye on everything. This complementing, the respect for different perspectives. I agree to disagree. That sometimes you argue with somebody, people will shout, 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 shout. They said that someone will collect blue. or someone will collect punch. It happens that sometimes that I can argue and argue very carelessly. Gone are those days. Thank God. I'll be arguing, but I don't fight though, and I don't collect blow because I don't like anything stress. I don't like anything violence. But I agree to disagree. You don't have to see eye to eye on everything. Yet, and sometimes when the person is making sense or speaking nonsense, just agree to disagree, and there will be peace. Number three, focus on shared values. While you may have differences, there may be common values that unite you. So in the families, like I said, there are different perspectives, there are different fun stuff each family member like to do, and there are different values. So while you may have your differences, definitely there will be something common that you guys love to do or you guys are related with, and find that common value and create unity from there. Number four is practice active listening. That's why communication is good, and being having open and honest conversations or interactions will help, and not just interacting, practicing active listening. How do you practice active listening? Hear them out and try to understand their point of view. That's another way to deal with a family member that has a different values and beliefs from you. It's not a big deal. Just practice active listening. Even if the person is speaking a different language from you, just be calm. Don't just be speak to just reply. Be quick to just respond. Practice active listening. Try to understand where the person is coming from and the person's point of view. That will give you a better understanding of life as well, because it will build your empathy and your compassion. So practicing active listening is another way to deal with family members who have different values and beliefs from yours. Another is avoid judgment. Now, almost every tip here tallies with each other. Respecting one's perspective, agreeing to disagree, focus on shared values, practicing active listening, then avoid judgment. Refrain from criticizing or judging each other's beliefs or judging someone else's beliefs or your siblings' beliefs just because they don't tally with yours or they don't rhyme with yours. It's fine. Don't judge, don't criticize. Don't make them look so whack or don't make them look stupid because their beliefs are different from yours or their values are different from yours. No, don't judge. You guys are different humans. You get me? So avoid judgment and refrain from criticizing their beliefs. That's another way to deal with family members who have different values, excuse me, and beliefs from you. Another factor, another tip, set boundaries. If their beliefs or values conflict with yours, it's okay to set boundaries. Because sometimes I may be arguing with someone and you guys will reach a point like, all right, you don't do. Let us stop here before it escalates or gets ugly. So set boundaries. If their values or beliefs conflict with yours or contradict with yours, set boundaries. It will limit a lot of things. Another is seek common ground. Look for areas where you can find common ground and build on that. Look for areas where both of you will understand yourselves and capitalize on that area. That's another way to deal with family members who have different values or beliefs from you. Look for areas that you guys understand each other. Look for an area that both of you say, okay, yes, coming from here, we'll jam here. Capitalize on that area and build yourself on that area and build your relationship as well on that area. That's another way to deal with family members who have different beliefs and values from you. Another is respect each other's differences. You see how every point tallies and complements each other, yeah? Embrace the diversity of your perspectives and your beliefs. Embrace the fact that yes, this guy is coming from north and coming from the south, but then there's a Pretoria or there's an Equatoria that we're gonna meet, or we're gonna meet rather. So respect each other's differences. If in that is an argument, this one seems to be coming from south, and an argument you seem to be coming from the east. Respect that diversity of views. Respect the diversity of perspectives and beliefs, and look for areas you guys have a common ground and build on that. That's it. Another one is seek support. If tensions arise, consider seeking support from a counselor or a therapist or your parent. If it has reached the point, bad as it bad, you realize, this my brother, this my sister, we are not even agreeing at all. There's no common ground. We just continually argue and argue and argue and stuff. In this point now, you seek support. Either you go to your parents and explain yourself, they see you, or you seek a professional, either a counselor or a therapist to do right by you. or to do right by you guys, or you seek your cleric or your pastor or your guardian, whoever you guys look up to, or can help you guys out. Then lastly, love unconditionally. Love conquers all things. Love overshadows all things. Love solves all things. So the best way to deal with family members who have different values and beliefs from you, love them unconditionally. Remember that family is about love and acceptance, even when you don't see eye to eye. So even when you guys are arguing, even when your differences are major, or your differences are pointing that you are not, remember that it's first love. Remember that it's first the acceptance, and where you guys have the love and you guys accept each other, regardless, you guys accept each other irrespective of the fact that there is no a common ground, or irrespective of the fact that you guys don't see eye to eye. But that love should bring you guys together. And when there's love, invariably there'll be acceptance. When there's an acceptance, invariably, no matter the beliefs, no matter the values, no matter the differences, you guys will still work hand in hand or look for a common ground, to build on that. So these are the ways to deal with family members who have different values and beliefs from you or from yours. So now remember, understanding and respect can go a long way in maintaining healthy relationships with family members who have different values and beliefs. So the best ways, or the two traits, or the two habits you are meant to portray, or you are meant to have to deal with family members who have different values and beliefs from yours, are understanding and respect. Once you guys understand each other, once you guys are able to communicate openly and honestly with each other, realizing that okay, yes, that is yours, this is mine, but no wahala, I respect your opinion, no wahala, your opinion is equally being respected by theirs, then that's a common ground, because now there's understanding and there's respect. With these two, you guys have you guys it will go a long way. You guys maintaining healthy relationship with your family members and with the family who have different values and beliefs with you guys. So I guess I've been able to answer these questions beautifully. The first, which was how to identify a toxic relationship or signs of a toxic relationship, and the second, which is dealing with families who have different values and beliefs from yours, or how to deal with family members who have different values and beliefs from yours. Let's go, come on. So yeah, man, I'm tired. I came back from work not quite long, and I'm stressed out. I haven't even addressed. See me. I'm